Awesome. All right, you can start talking now. You were saying yesterday about what?
Those bags, the big ones I sent you, the black ones, them Johns were like 48 pounds at least. I don't know if I need a lifter's belt.
Well,
Them
like
Johns mess me up.
maybe. I don't know what to tell you on that. What address was that? That was that the one in 19123 or something? The last one? Because you sent me a bunch of texts with the pictures, but I wasn't I have to look at them again. I was I used
Yeah, the one that was it was a funny name. Hold on, let me see.
all right. It's
It's
the one
like
not far from Hope Street, right? I'll find it. Hold on. Um, it was it was Brandywine, that one? Was it Brandywine? I can't hear you. I mean, I barely hear you.
my headphone is corny. Yeah, it was Brandywine Street.
It was just two bags, wasn't it?
Yeah, but it's like
Uh, that was a clean. He's a cleaner too. Actually, um, that's just so one of the things that I'm seeing is like we get all kind of clients right now. Oh, here's what I want you to start looking out for. Talked to a guy 2 days ago, and one of the things he reminded me about is how churches and small halls will rent it out, and you have to like weddings or parties or whatever, birthday parties, and you have to when you go, you can rent it for cheap, right? But you got to bring, you bring your own food. You have to put the tables back and the chairs back. It's like really bare bones, and then you actually have to take the trash with you after the party. You recall that? Because I mean, sometimes with churches when you rent them out, stuff like that. That's what happens. Well, trying to find a way or find like the little halls that do that, and say, hey, whenever these people come, offer them this alternative, so like if the trash gets left, they leave it out there that somebody's going to come and get it in the morning, or if it's a night thing or something like that, right? So that might be a good little to explore. um just keep your ears out for that kind of stuff, because that's kind of I mean, it's not a lot, but it's something, right? So um things, you learn anything new this week? Because I started to, and I'll share it with you, but it's something I'm working on here, and I guess I'll catch you up on some of the things that's been happening.
something new.
Yeah, like like maybe that you do need a belt for some of these bags.
I think so. I mean, these are the bags. I'll show you right now.
I know any black bag is going to be.
Um,
In fact, there might. I'm gonna try it out. I guess your Wi-Fi. Probably get closer to your house.
uh,
Wi-Fi. Um. Okay. Okay. I see them. But that's all of them, right?
oh, it's blurry because of the effect.
I can't hear you. What? How are you a video guy and this horrible at this?
I'm not good with technology.
How do you make stunning videos that are probably Emmy award winning, but you can't do your phone? But that's from all three places, isn't it?
Right here. That one bag can hold usually two super full white bags, or like 3 or 4 like Marjorie, right? That's like one address. So that's what I'm saying. Like, what's a bag? Because
Yeah.
this right here, like, it's full of white bags. It's like all the way to the bottom. So like, how is this a bag? These are the two bags that threw my back out, because they're 40-pound bags.
All
And
right.
I look,
So
so
the quick
that's what I'm saying. Like, what's the best?
The quick answer right now is we're trying to stay away from construction type material, which is what you're running into, or overfilled bags. But until we have more people, it's really hard to start to say, well, what solves that problem, right? So again, the bags that we want to sell that we can sort of enforce would be one way. The second way is if it's a black bag like that big, we might start charging, more. But I don't know, like on the app, it's not set up to do different pricing yet, which is makes it difficult, especially when we get into recycling and stuff like that. So it's not that we can't get there, it's that it's going to take a minute because we still have to finish the other side of the app first to even make that work and then start to identify what you're saying. Like I know it's a problem, but it's not a problem we can fix yet. I'll tell you what did come up, and this is also going to probably open up your ears too, but I don't know if this is something that you can take on because it's more for somebody with like a pickup truck or a smaller van, and it is going to probably be heavy stuff, right? So I met a guy this week, and they do restoration like flood and mold and that kind of stuff, right? You see those guys driving around in a truck. Well,
Yeah, I got a guy who owns a whole company that does the restorations.
so maybe you can approach this with him. What what the guys I talk to do now is this. Normally when they do a job, there's anywhere from 6 to 10 bags of heavier construction type stuff like that, right? And unless they have their own dump truck, because for them, the dump trucks that they end up having are like they use a lot of fuel and they're a pain for them to use their own dump trucks because they're just so costly and fuel wise and manpower wise, right? So what the guy's doing now, which he's like, it's okay, but I mean, I know there's probably a better way, is he rents those big bags. I don't know if you ever seen them, right? They go and they put one of those bags out and they fill them up, and these guys take them, and they usually charge like $225 or something, $250 for that, right? And it's really, it's a smaller amount, 6 to 10 bags, like I said. It's heavy stuff.
Yeah.
So what I, what I came up with was like, if there's a way to do it for cheaper, would you? And he was like, yeah. So it got me thinking, like, what does that look like? And in the area that you're in, it probably they don't even have the room to put the bag. It's not like because they can put the bag, um, you know, on the lawn, on the side of the driveway. There's a lot of room there. I don't know what they do. So if you do know that guy, you might want to ask him because a lot of the times when them guys are doing, like I said, jobs, they produce that, but then who takes it and what do they do with it? So maybe if you do know that guy, ask that question because if we have somebody or we can get somebody, or even if we could start using something like that's truck and bring that in, like that stuff is normally like what do you call it? What do you call it? Laminate flooring and stuff like that. The stuff that gets, when it gets water on it, it gets swelled up and it's no good. He says the majority of the time it's that stuff. So it is kind of heavy, but it's like, it's not like super nasty, messy mess. So,
I
I,
mean, I'll just tell you right now. Um, okay, so I'm just gonna what some challenges would might be. Some of the sanitation convenience centers won't take construction type debris.
mhm.
Not like and remember because I did those floors twice in 1 year, and I picked up the wood. I picked them up myself, the materials. So like if let's just say it's for the first floor, medium size, small size, whatever. That wood when it's dry, when that stuff is dry,
It's heavy.
you would like I had dad's that white van he had, that little one.
Mhm.
That thing was very almost it wasn't it almost couldn't take a full load. It's heavy. Like it's heavy when it's dry. So I can't imagine it wet. I
So,
gotta
so, okay, so that's a challenge. So number one,
yeah.
the challenge is the weight of that stuff, and it's construction. Two challenges. It's heavy and it's construction debris, right? So
Yeah.
Um, I know that Circular Philadelphia, I gotta reach out to them, but some of them have some specific places for construction debris, and what they're looking for is people that are like they're kind of recycling building materials. So I gotta ask them about that kind of stuff. But why don't I mean if you know the person, why don't you reach out to them, have a conversation, and see if there's a problem we can solve here? Because what I'm thinking for that is the best thing to do would be to just get a dumpster that we own and control, right? And maybe it could be on the side building over there on Wyoming, like that little lot that Dad. Well, there's a driveway and there's a garage and a driveway. And there's a space there, and I'm wondering if there's a way that we can just have like a dumpster. But the problem with putting it in the street is obviously people you gotta tie it, you gotta keep it secure. So I'm just trying to figure out if there's a place where we can put a locked dumpster that we can fill and then put it out. But I don't know. So okay, I got it. You guys are staying under the radar with the furbishing over there on the side building, yeah? Like you haven't pulled out a dumpster, you haven't had any need to do any big demo.
At the what building?
Um, what do you call it? 1213, I guess it is. 1211. I don't know the address is for that building. Wyoming. Mom next to mom's.
Oh yeah, yeah. I mean, yeah, they're not they're not moving quick at all.
No, I know.
So
It's kind of underground. I'm just wondering if there's a way to get it secured somewhere there and kind of just use that as the place for this. It's I'm just trying to think here.
because there is a like there is a they do have so it's the house, and they have that garage,
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking, the
and
garage.
then next to the garage is actually a separate like driveway up into nothing. Like
That
it's a that could probably take like a medium dumpster.
that's what I'm saying. Something like that. Like where we can grab they have 10, 20, and 30 yards, right? Well, just get the small, the 10 or the 20, something that will fit up there. Keeping in mind that when the trucks they use for that stuff are like big tow trucks, they have to have a way up and down, and they also tend to like bang stuff and scrape up concrete. So I don't know what condition that driveway's in or anything like that, but that's I'm thinking that that could be a nice temporary place to save everybody from driving far distances. And then, with those, it's kind of like you rent it and then they take it and they dump it. Here there's
Yeah, but
two.
that solves another problem
Mhm,
because okay, so one problem is um each sanitation site will only take one a day,
mhm,
like one drop off a day, because they take your license plates. So they take one a day. They'll let you do two on Saturday, right? So the so that's one challenge. And then they're not open early. They're not open after 5 or 6 most days. Um, and so what I've been doing is like the one on Delaware Ave. It's such a massive site. They can't even, they park their trucks outside of the gates there. They don't do it at any of the other sites. So sometimes I find like trucks that are just parked and I'll throw it in the back of a parked truck. Uh, which, always feels weird. A couple times I've had like where people see me do it and like, they don't care because they're like, that's not my responsibility, kind of thing.
um,
So,
well, yeah,
so, that, so yeah, that's always been like a pain because like I don't want to trade, like I don't want to take right now the bags I put on my curb. It's too early for it to be on my curb, but I don't want to put it on my porch. So right now it's out on the street. So it's like,
so okay, so it could solve multiple problems. And I knew that it could, but it also incurs a cost, right? So I'm willing to, and this is kind of like where dad, the truck could come in, or I don't know, but there's a cost for this thing. And if it's okay, so let's say we fill one weekly. Well, each week that's going to cost, I don't know, 200 to 300 bucks. Well, where does that come from? It's going to have to come from partially, the income. Now, the split on the income is more towards the sweeper side, a lot more. So I would have to readjust the allocation to more to the sweeper side, and for them to and this was kind of already in the works, but I mean we can try it and see how it works out. If it causes massive convenience, I don't think you'll mind a couple dollars less. It just has to subsidize itself through the whole process, right? Like if it saves you gas, time, headache, you just have one stop. Of course, it's going to make more sense. That was the whole idea of the two sort of moving trash truck that could take your stuff if you happen to be close by, and you taking it all the way home, you make the most money. If we can shift that a little bit and say, okay, you can take it to the place yourself, you can do what you've been doing, or in a pinch, here's a place you can take it, but you're gonna have to split your money with this dumpster to offset the cost of the dumpster. That's what we'd have to do. And then, wait to lock it and make sure like the only people using it are the people that are on our system, whether that's, I don't know if they sell them like, like rollout dumpsters, they sell them with wheels, or a lid that locks and it's just a combo lock, or it's like I could put a smart lock on it and only certain people have the code, and when they're not in the system anymore, the code changes, something like that. So that's kind of something that we can do. Um, anyway, think about that, because that could open up some new doors for us and make your life a little easier. Um, we still need more sweepers and stuff like that, because obviously you're still running all over the city the most. And, it seems like West Philly and other places need this, but they don't need everything, right? So, still trying to make it good. One cool thing that happened, well, that conversation with those demo guys, that might be worth it. If, like I said, if you know a guy who owns a company that does that, that might be a conversation you could look into. Still need to get a hold of those other junk guys to see if they want to be a part of this. Maybe they just cover like deep south and west. They might want to do that. I don't know. I did talk to the 1-800 junk guys briefly, the Philly ones. Even though they're up in King of Prussia, I got to follow up with them like in a month. They said there's a lot of stuff through the franchise that they have to, like, concerns.
Yeah,
And once he explained it to me, I got it. Like, they don't know that they don't necessarily want people tracking their drivers, because there's a lot of people out there that try to steal their jobs. So if they know where they're going, they're gonna like try to snipe their jobs, kind of thing. So there might be a reverse lookup kind of thing.
yeah.
Other cool thing is I met another influencer. If you ever go on TikTok, you look up Trash Colin, Trash Colin, Caulin. He's here in the beach, and he's got like 1.4 million kind of subscribers. And we're talking about how we can do a challenge between two cities. So I talked to your fave trash man Terrell, and I was like, why don't we, I don't know when, but at some point do like a city versus city pickup challenge, right? So that's something that I'd like to do to kind of get our name out there, and we can kind of sponsor these neighborhood things. And if we did that, I thought it would be really good to try to, like, dad's always at Kip and Cambria and Somerset and all that, and like that neighborhood needs it the most. So maybe focus,
It's
you
trash. What's his name? Trash Collins.
trash T yeah, trash Caulin.
Oh, Trash Collins. Okay.
He's and he said after we talk, I said he's gonna put me on to more trash sort of influencers, people in that space. So that'll be good, just trying to like build a network of trash influencers so we can start these challenges, and get more people kind of like, oh, I like that, I want to be a part of that, just a way to grow us. Once again, I know we're running out of time. Thank you for your efforts. Think about the dumpster thing, how that might work at dad's, where we can make that available to more people and still
Yeah.
offset the cost. because that's just another complication. But
Yeah.
it will get more complicated before it comes simple. In my head, I believe that one day we'll have smart dumpsters where nobody has to check them. They're gonna beep us and tell us when they're full. Somebody's gonna go get the call. They're gonna pull it out. They're gonna replace it. Anybody that's part of our network would have the thing on their phone. They could scan it in. The thing would open for them, put their stuff in. It would automatically deduct whatever it has to deduct, and everything's nice and smooth. That's the world I see, but we got to build it, right? And so the technology is there. It costs something, but right now it's kind of like everything's duct taped together, and it works. It's just an effort. So the best thing I could say about this is you seeing it from the inside out like this would obviously probably get, obviously, if you wanted to become some kind of management position or area supervisor, I don't know, something, but because you have such insight into it, and then we can actually get you working with fun stuff, videos. We need people to shoot videos of what we're doing. So like you could just start doing that and getting the word out
I know.
more.
I was thinking like everything is content, right? Like
It
everything
is.
is content. It's like, you know,
Good. Tell me your ideas because I have a bunch, but I've never shared them with you and you've never shared them with me. So tell me what you got.
I don't know. I mean, it's not hard to make the videos, but usually people want to see things they can like tune out or zone in. I'll check out Colin's stuff and see what he's doing. Besides taking pictures of, he's a good looking guy. So like, I'm not sure if that's playing a part into it.
Well, his it's his
But
energy. It's his energy.
he
It's his energy, and he has fun with it. And I asked him who shoots your stuff, and he's like, I do it. He goes, I shoot my own and edit it. So that's all him. That's not like he ain't got nobody following on. He just had a lot of discipline. So go through those things. For me, content looks what like the funny stuff. We have a sense of humor, so you'd be perfect for this. But I'm not too far away from the guy. I don't know if you remember the guy who threw the alligator in the trash can to catch him. It was like half a year ago. He's in Florida and he's from Philly. And I always thought like, I don't remember. Do you remember YouTube? They had that blender and it was like, does it blend? And they would just try to blend the phone. They would try to blend like random things because people ask them, and just to see what happens. Or they would have this other product where they would just drop it off of different heights to see if it would break. But what, like, does it trash, right? Like, what can you do with what can you throw in the trash, what you can't? And I just thought it would be funny. It would just be random people trying to challenge us on what we will take and what we won't take. Um, like an alligator
I
or
did I
a
did
dead body,
stop.
stuff like that.
Some guy dropped off a whole like, the fake wicker patio sets, like the plastic wicker style patio sets, and that thing had metal, and like some of the pieces were like 6 feet long, like the full thing, not broken down, and he do it in the trash truck. And I stood just to see the truck. Like, I stood there after I had trash there, and I waited to see if the trash truck could handle it. Like if the machine that like crushes it into it. And I'll tell you what, it struggled, but they took it.
I
I was
think
like, I'm trying to
I
figure out
think
why they didn't like put it
well,
anywhere. Like,
if it was me and I was the driver, and it's kind of like you look at that and you go like challenge accepted, and you want to see if it'll happen too. You don't know, but here that's probably young guys who never broke a truck before. If it was an old head, he would like get that out of here or bend it. But what the guys bending it, like I mean, the guys in the truck, were they younger or older?
that was an old guy. It was
Oh,
actually an old guy. It was at the drop off. It was at the drop off spot.
well, I guess like I
I was like, I don't think he. Honestly, I should have recorded it because I don't think he saw all the metal that was underneath all the plastic.
said.
And yeah, it was a thing. But
Well,
anyway,
if you ever see something weird like that, you should record it, or you should even one day ask those guys, like, what's the weirdest thing anybody try to crush? Like, stuff like that, because it's always asking a question, but I think for me, content works when it's always something offbeat, because nobody cares about regular trash. I'll give you an example, and I should probably show you this. I have an alert system set up for like all stuff trash related, and one of the things that came across this week was it was showing that this somebody threw like like gas. I don't know if it was expended fuel or something. They threw it in the trash and they threw it in a trash truck, crushed it, and then you just see the whole back burst into flames, like. So it kind of exploded in the trash truck and shot flames across the top. But then when they recrushed it, like it put it out. But the point is, it was crazy watching this thing just go bloop, and then it just flames came everywhere. That was interesting. It's like stuff like that is always
That's cool.
around that. That's kind of cool. So, um, you know,
You know,
but
this is small, but like how you throw. There's techniques to throwing. Like you could carry a bag to the trash truck, or you can toss it in and toss it fun. So like you can be we saw the trash guys doing it. They're like throwing the bags in from like far distances.
like a shot put kind of.
Like I know you're recording this. When you're a kid and you're like peeing, and you're like, how far away can I be?
That's actually
Toilet still making it.
that's actually we
Like the bag and like it could be like a competition. How far can you throw the bag and get it into the
You should think of,
so
you should think of, yo, that would be funny if you got a bunch of trash guys and go like, I'm doing this video and I wanted to do like, I saw you guys, you just share that story. I saw you guys doing this, like, it was like a shot put. It was like, who can throw the bag the farthest, like from the furthest back into the bag? Goes, what's some other contests you have with yourself? Because I think I want to video this, like actually like the Trash Man Olympics or something like that. It's just like an event and then they could win like a belt and they could just compete against each other who got the longest, like I said, like a trashathlon. You find three events, you find three things they could kind of win at, and like you just make it a thing. It's like the Philadelphia Trash Athlon, and it's just like who can throw the bag the farthest, who can I don't know, put the most in a bag without it breaking, and something else, and then
you
like
could do the trash Olympic because you can like lifting the heavy like those who lift the heaviest bag. You because like you there's like the toss, like you could do the furthest toss. Who can like you know how they do like the strongman competition? Hey, you have to put it, but like I think it would be good marketing.
it would,
Like
it would, especially if you're doing it like that, like it's kind of like you're celebrating these guys in a way they've never been celebrated before, because you saw some funny stuff, and everybody sees some funny stuff, but the majority of the world is only just complaining about them when they leave a little bit in the street or break their can, whatever, all the other stuff. So it'd be cool to find something funny that they think that would be funny. In fact, I should probably put you with
what's that Spanish show? Excelsior. You ever seen that? One?
Sábado Gigante.
No. There's a show my mother-in-law watches. It's kind of like the Spanish version of Survivor, but it's no surviving stuff. They just do competitions every day, and it's like little obstacle courses and stuff like. So it's usually a combination of like physical activities, but like if you did like a combination of physical and prices right, you know what I mean? Like the questions,
Why don't
like
you do this, right? Think about it and then find a way to make like a video with your son doing all these things on a really small level and like training for it, and like make it a thing, but just use, your son because he's funny, and see like if you can kind of look do a almost like a preview teaser of what it could be like, but just show the kid, and then just use that. First of all, it's good marketing, so we could just be like, what if, and then we just did a thing, and he could put on the Rocky thing. Maybe he should have him running up the Rocky steps with two bags or something stupid in Philadelphia, right? But like have him, for fun, and then show it to other people as you go, like I don't know, the trash guys, the people at the top, and be like, would you put somebody in this and stuff like that, and then just see if you could get like 10 guys that would be like, hell yeah, we'll do that. Then we have something there, and we could just do it for fun. But that just can be like sponsored by Trash Smitter and throw up like make a prize. I got this dad belt up here. You see the top, right? World's greatest dad. We can get we can get like a belt made for the trash guy, like whoever wins, and like some kind of small prize package just for the fun of it,
mhm.
right? I mean, we this is supposed to be about family and fun too. And that's, to me, if you have the time and the energy, if you can think it up, or if you can just do even just like a quickie kind of a teaser that would just make people laugh, we could probably get people on board to try it out the same way we could probably get them to challenge each other in cities. Listen, Nothing that needs to be perfect. It just needs you just need to do something and see what it looks like. So something to something to look into, and definitely more fun and a better way to show what we do to people, because nobody cares about trash right now, not the way we do. So we got to get them in there somehow, right? So anyway,
They could win a Grouchy.
Oscar the Grouch. Oscar the Grouch jumps out of a cake and puts out.
Grouchy. Call it the
Ooh, that's
Grouchy.
no. Listen, I even know. So imagine this: the prize is somebody dressed like Oscar the Grouch is gonna come and smash a pie in the face of somebody that you know on their birthday. Kind of like one of those telegrams where you where you where you just say a singing telegram and they come in and they like you say, hey, it's Oscar the Grouch, and then it's like blah blah blah. Because there's this friend of mine in the fire department that's his thing. He does it on all the firefighters' birthdays. They find a way to where they're sitting there unsuspecting and they just hit them with a pie full of it's really just a bunch of whipped cream and a plate, but still the
Yeah,
point is it's just funny. So that would be funny.
it's probably shaving cream.
I would
Let's
pay
see here.
yeah, shaving cream might mess your eyes. I don't know, but
No, no, they actually use shaving cream because
all right, well
unless it's allergic to peanuts, but it's usually shaving cream because it doesn't melt. It
uh
holds up.
yeah,
So
yeah.
you can wait with it. So on the TV shows, it's usually shaving cream.
So that's what we should do. Long story short, I would finance that. I mean, Oscar the Grouch suit might be hard to find, but it could be anything. It could be the guy, it could just be a fuzzy suit like this guy, like Roscoe or whatever. It would be even better if it was Roscoe. But point I'm trying to make is that would just be a funny thing. So I don't know, something if you have some time, put it together. But talk to the restoration guy because maybe that's a thing we can kind of get on board with. Like we can make something out of that. So anyway,
I'm
um,
afraid of that
all right.
one. All right.
I know. Well, it's not for you.
I
I want
got
to
you.
hear more because I don't want to go out of our lane, but that's still kind of our
Oh,
lane, heavy stuff.
yeah.
No, it might just be those might be way more per bag. That's all. So, okay.
And look into Queen. It's like Queen trash removals. They have like pink trucks, and
Trash
yeah,
Queen.
it's like bright trash queen. Yeah, you
She's
know
in.
that?
Yeah.
Yeah,
I do know her.
she
Actually,
was in more in the north area.
yeah, they do clean
So
out
she's
though.
like closer to home. Yeah. Okay.
But if you do see one of the trucks again, just take a picture because I know who Trash Queen is, but I don't know if she has pink trucks. I used them to actually help us out when we moved out for one thing, but it wasn't a pink truck, so I don't know.
If they don't have pink trucks, they need it. That's great branding. If they just get pink trucks.
Okay, I'll look for them. I'll talk to you soon. Thank you. I'll let you know if anything else comes through today. Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
All right. Bye.